inside out. So right now, say it with your
Good morning, y'all. Collie, good morning. Paul, good morning to you. Roller Dragon, Esther Broshan, Blue Daddy. Blue Daddy said no Twitch today. I don't know what's going on, Blue. We'll find out. Truth the Dragon, good morning. Kev Z, Nat A. Good morning, everybody. Laura Estrada, good morning. Lady Lou, afraid not. Jermaine Lewis. Teresa, good morning. Sammy Lynn. Amber Layla, good morning. Sister Nat A. What's going on? Brother Lateef, good morning. Silk City Socialist. Ear Hustler, what's going on? Mara Sharice, what's up, sister? W Hall, good morning to you. Tyra G. Kev Z. Paul C. Jack. What's going on? Juanita, Tyler Hackler, what's going on? Church Lady, good morning. Miss Nuru, good morning to you. Susan Bradley, good morning. Director 97, good morning to you. Good morning, everybody. Y'all come on in, come on in. Tiger, good morning. Brother Chuck Diesel, good morning to you.
Who's to make the man, but that poison's gonna kill you from the inside out.
Ricky, good morning.
Just say it with your chest now, say it with your chest now. I'm young, I'm free, ain't nobody take me here and now.
It's the DJ exclusive takeover, y'all. Y'all are rocking with me for the next 30 minutes until like the night goes down. So yes, y'all get ready. We're gonna go a couple of places this morning. Rosie Bean, good morning. Y'all get your coffee and tea. Y'all get your brooms. If y'all want to start cleaning up, you can do that too. Put me on the loudspeaker. We're gonna get this music cracking, y'all. DJ X3C on Cash App and Venmo. DJ X3C on Cash App and Venmo. Let's ride it out. Do the damn thing, y'all. Let's go. Good morning.
If you're on the bus, say yeah. Yeah. If you're on the train, say yeah. Yeah. If you gotta walk, say yeah. Yeah. Everybody's going somewhere.
Yeah.
Young or old, I really don't care. Yeah. Life has never really been fair. Yeah. So put your fist up in the air. Yeah. Say yeah. I'm young, I'm free.
Shay, good morning to you.
Ain't nobody take me here and now. It's my time to run it out. It's my time to ride it. I'm young, I'm free. Ain't nobody take me here and now. It's my time to ride it out.
Mark S, good morning. Jill Potts, what's going on? Alicia, Six Dragon Daddy, good morning.
Why don't you get it by now? Tell me what you learned in grade school. Give it to me like you want it. Did you forget that golden rule? Why is our love it one-sided? It should really be give and take. Fill you up and leave me empty. Baby, was that my mistake? Covering these feelings, I keep on going through changes. I'm just so mad right now, I can't even think straight. So I'ma just
Tweet it and delete it.
Knowing
This been all morning, but he just don't delete it. He tweeted, he don't delete it though.
I'd rather just tweet it and delete it before we cross the line and we reach a point we can't rewind. Rewind. Tell me what choice I have now. I just wanna get it right with you. But if we try to talk about it, our history says we'll just argue. And I know you're gonna act a fool, and then no one could tell the difference between me and you, babe. Watching from a distance, hiding these feelings. I keep on going through changes. I'm just so mad, but now it's at
Brother Lateef, yeah it is. King Sis.
So I'ma just tweet it and delete it.
David, I got you.
Before we get too far away, I need to clear my mind. I'd rather just tweet it and delete it. And we reach a point we can't rewind. Maybe I need some space, need somewhere else to go, to release, to relax, to let my emotions flow. But for now, tweet it and delete it, knowing you won't read it before we get to
Good morning, Shay.
I need to clear my mind. I'd rather just tweet it and delete it. Oh, before we cross the line and we reach a point we can't rewind. Rewind. Rewind.
Tell me.
Tell him I need my money right now. Probably the juice they stole out my crown. Sorry to tell you, I know my value. I'm gonna recoup, yeah. But don't waste my energy, my energy. I don't got much, don't be wasting all my energy. I keep it tight, don't let nobody get close to me. My heart is right, don't question my integrity. No, I thought we would be just fine, and I thought your heart was like mine. But let me find out, you've been going around throwing shots, running plots. Come on, man, tryna block my blessings, but no need for comparisons. What's from me won't be from me. Yeah, I'ma go through just to grow through. But pay me what you owe me for, I make what you've been saying about me true, true. Tell them I need my money right now. Probably the juice they stole out my crown. Yeah. Sorry to tell you,
I think I might hit y'all with an exclusive this morning.
I'm gonna recoup, yeah. Don't waste my loyalty, my loyalty. I let you in back then because I couldn't see, but now it's clear you ain't ever been true to me. My intuition ain't ever lied, I had to leave. Handle your business, do what you think you need.
I forgot this damn delay. I'm on another microphone and another system that sucks.
Point of no return, I'm on a mission.
Shoot the dragon, I'm doing good.
My blessings, but no need for comparisons. What's from me won't be from me. Yeah, I'ma go through just to grow through. But pay me what you owe me for, I make what you've been saying about me true, true. Tell them I need my money right now. Tell them I need my money. Probably the juice they stole out my crown. Sorry to tell you, I know my value.
That's right now, hey. Tell him I need my coffee right now.
Don't waste my.
Say it again, say it again. You're saying you're sorry, so say it again. Only you can make my world go.
Hitting y'all with some smooth jams this morning, y'all. Y'all make sure y'all stay tuned. Liking another starting up next with your sister from another mister. I messed that all up. With our sister from another mister, Rebecca, y'all.
You're my thunder, my darkest night. You just can't go back and make it right. 'Cause it's too late, your time is up. Damaged and now it's stuck.
Tomorrow, y'all, it goes down. We're not doing a full Patreon-a-thon, but we're going to do a mini Patreon-a-thon and a mini fundraiser for Rebecca and myself. Get us free from corporate America. So make sure y'all tune in. It's going down 6 p.m. until 6 p.m. until, man. So make sure y'all have y'all face in place.
I'm in a better place now. I'm not gonna worry, no. Say it again.
She said that. Say it again. Say it again.
Only you can do that. My heart was open wide. I could feel it breaking deep inside.
Laverne Rebels, good morning. Summer Lynn, Mimosa Dragon is in the building. Good morning, y'all.
Now we're stuck. 'Cause it's too late. You roll the dice, and now you have to pay the price. Oh, I'm in a better place now. I'm not gonna worry, no. I'm not even sorry. You're gonna be the lonely one. I'm in a better place now.
Y'all hit up that Cash App, y'all. DJ X3C on Venmo and Cash App. DJ X3C on Venmo and Cash App. Man, this delay kicking my ass.
I'm not even sorry. You're gonna be the lonely one. I'm in a better place now. I'm not gonna worry. I'm not even sorry. You're gonna be the lonely one.
Baby, you set my soul on fire every morning and every evening. Ooh. And maybe we can't get any higher, but if you like to take a ride, we can discover what we're hiding. Making you move, it sure looks good. Playing it cool like you know you should. Put a smile that's one of a kind, and I can't get you off my mind.
Hey,
I'm running too high, I need to cool me down. I'm flying so high, I don't see the ground. I'm running too high, I need to cool me down. I'm flying so high, I don't see the ground. Baby, you set my soul on fire every morning and every evening. Ooh. And maybe we can't get any higher, but if you like to take a ride, we can discover.
the church lady. Man, that would be awesome to hear her sing in the day on Tyler Perry play. Shout out, brother Lateef, man. Thank you for your Cash App, bro, man. I appreciate you, brother. Yeah, Hustle, good morning. You better do your little two-step with a hip sway.
Come be my king and I'll be your queen. I'm running too high, I need to cool me down. I'm flying so high, I don't see the ground.
Good morning, mama and daddy. I know y'all in the chat room watching. Good morning, family. Love y'all, mean it. Good morning, Q. Love you too, you little buster.
Baby, you set my soul on fire every morning and every evening. Ooh. And maybe we can't.
Oh man, y'all definitely want to be at the paper party tomorrow. I'm gonna take y'all come to something everywhere. I got 6 whole hours, probably more than that. I'm about to be rocking with y'all, so we can go everywhere.
Set my soul on fire every morning and every evening. Ooh. And maybe we can't get any higher, but if you like to take a ride, we can discover what we're hiding. Ooh.
Strata says Latif has some good news this week. Ask him. And Shelby Hall, Rock Trail Barring Sam. Yes, Shelby Hall. That's awesome to hear. We have amazing people here, Bubba Love. Man, yes, we do, man. We really appreciate y'all. We love y'all. And we thank y'all so much for being here. If you have not already, patreon.com/psychedonot, patreon.com/the BPD show, man. Y'all go ahead and become a member today, and y'all can get access to the patron parties. Hey, shout out to Esther Brochin and Tiger, who sent me some coffee money as well. Love y'all, mean it, man. I appreciate it. And I got a question for y'all. What's the difference between a hippo and a Zippo? One is really heavy and the other is a little lighter. Y'all know y'all love me.
Hey, so
I was just told
tell
to
me
go in
what
there.
it is. What you want from me? What you want from me? Tell me what it is, don't tell me what it ain't. They try to throw salt, it just made the pressure raise. Going through a phase, gotta get myself out it. Don't talk about it, boy, they said you gotta be about it. So I be trying to face the world head on. Front seat riding, cruising down the meadows. Pedal to the meadow, cool breeze blowing down the windows. Calm trees, blowing trees, get that boy some headroom. On the interstate in traffic, but I swerve out. What's the moves for the night, what's the word now? What's the links, hit me up, we could go now. I got hella pieces, she got hella features. Get me hella geeked up, she be blowing shisha. Reefer on me loud, hope them boys don't creep up. I don't know a thing if you do not speak up. In my own world, I don't try to girl, tell me what you want. Don't be tryna front like I ain't what you want. I ain't here to stun, let me take you out for lunch. I'ma get you drunk, yeah, filling on your buns. Licks in the blunt, I got ash in my cup. All these girls showing up, but I don't give a fuck. Cause you the one I want, girl, you the one I want. Yeah, you the one I want. Girl, you the one I want. Hey, come and show me love. Shorty wanna be a rider, and I'm feeling high, I can't deny it. She a bad joint named Maya, and when I seen her,
Susan Bradley, I appreciate you. She said, I love you in spite of the dad jokes, Bubba.
So I'm trying to feel
but don't worry.
I asked her what she
I got
doing, she
another
like
one.
nada. So she just chill, I'm about to get up in the shower. I said, alright, cool, I'ma be there in an hour. I just wanna live like a Kuna Matata. I ain't got no time for no baby mama drama. All about my comments, my letters, no tomatoes. Always bragging what they got up in they wallet. Ain't no really telling if we let her see tomorrow. Get it on my own, I ain't really tryna bar. So I stay fly, gotta dress up in designer.
Sticks and stones may break my bone, but your words can't hurt me. No, you just can't.
If you got a hater, y'all, this is the song for the haters out there. Y'all tell them, like, man, sticks and stones may make my bones, but your words would never hurt me. Period.
No, it just can't hurt me. No.
Good morning, Mama. Mother Gwen has entered the chat, y'all. Mother Gwen has entered the chat.
No, you just can't hurt me. No, no, no. I know it's hard to be polite, and it's easy being petty. My mama used to tell me, gotta use you when he ready. Man, it's crazy how my brother said it could have been my cell. It's either prison or a grave. That's what everybody tell me. Man, life ain't a beach, it's a female dog. I'm staying 10 toes down, though I still might fall. Oh yeah, now I done came through, knocking pictures off you walls. Loving people who persecute you, it's still a tough life. On my path and the lamp under my feet. I know my faith's strong, but my flesh still kinda weak. When that victory be looking like the verge of defeat, and I feel that disrespect, help me turn my other cheek.
Real quick, if slow old men use walking sticks, what do fast old men use?
No, I ain't been right.
Hurricanes.
Wrong, and it still can't hurt me. No, it just can't hurt me. No.
Love you too, Mama.
No, you just can't hurt me. No, you just can't hurt me. No, no, no. No, you just can't hurt me. No, you just can't hurt me. No. See, it's hard to be polite. It's easy being petty. Mama used to tell me, gotta use you when you're ready. Cause I ain't working on my own timing. Ain't got no diamonds on me, but I stay shy.
Amber Layla, thank you so much for your 2%, sweetheart. Love you, I mean it. Hey man, y'all go ahead and get your bones, whatever it is you need. Cause y'all know what time it is. Get your lighters, get your everything. We about to light it up.
When that victory be looking like the verge of defeat, and I feel like disrespect, help me turn my other cheek and say sticks and stones may break my bone, but your words can't hurt me. No, you just can't hurt me. No, I ain't been right more than I've been wrong, and it still can't
the SLP. Good morning, sister.
Can't hurt me, no. Can't hurt me, no.
Shout out Mimosa Dragon for picking up on that. Mimosa Dragon said, is this the best of season 1 soundtrack? Hell yes it is.
I've been on the vibe, kinda hard to describe. I'm in between, I'm good and it's fine, but I'm tired of the grind. Then I come alive in the night to realize I'm in the middle of the time of my life. I'm never so packed for the stack, never lied on the rack. Got a bag from the way that I write it. Queen looking Tyson, do that ass survive, doing 80 to the house. Then I hit it to the sky, change haters on a tirade. Talking to the grip in the face, be still, let that hit stuff fade. We all with the same.
Hey man, you know the music is good. Like I'm watching random commercials on TV and YouTube commercials, and a lot of the music that I'm playing, they are playing this shit now, y'all. I'm just like, yo, I use that. I was the first one to use that. I want y'all to know that, okay? Like it or not, the Benjamin Dixon Show on the clock. We were the first, man. We the first out here. Let's get it.
5-hour flights, couple nights at the flat. To be real, could you see me making
Miss Nuru, you better remember the Lemonade song.
Burn it down, sage, keep the demons away. When I write it, give a piece of myself to the page. I don't do it for the praise, love, that's just how I'm made.
From the glass in the mirror, yeah. Do it at me, old man, tryna pass in the fear. You're the first one to talk, but the last one to hear. Eyes blurry, but I couldn't see that, and he cleared down.
Shout out, brother Goku.
Settle in, I'll be here for the long run. I'm a slave for the cash, got snakes in the grass, no brakes on the ad, but it's all fun. We done seen it all, heard it all. Heard enough, give me space before I murder y'all. 10 bad here, I'm a curve of
Shoot the Dragon, yes we do. We have an Amber Alert system. I forgot what the other alerts is called too. But yes, we get all those alerts as well. Especially in the area. The area that you're in is more specific to the area. But yes, all the time.
Young, reckless, gold in my soul, got the same on my necklace.
Too consumed, but every part of my body is telling me to run away from you. Come a little bit closer, yeah, yeah. Come a little bit closer, yeah. You're a little bit crazy. It's been days, but you never change. What's love got to do with it? He comes around, better knock that stuff down. Come a little bit closer, yeah, yeah. Come a little bit closer, yeah. To all my ladies who got a brother that doesn't treat them right, put your finger right in his face and tell that man bye-bye. I'm too fly, I'm too fly. Bye-bye, bye-bye, bye-bye. You're a little bit selfish. You get mad every time you lose. You can't take me with you. I'm scared you're gonna blow your fuse. Come a little bit closer, yeah. I can really start over, yeah. In the back of my mind, there's someone waiting on me. You're just wasting my time.
That's
because
crazy.
You're scared and lonely. Finally got some closure, yeah. I can finally start over.
Wait a minute. Am I still on?
To all my ladies who got a brother that doesn't treat them right, put your finger right in his face and tell that man bye-bye. I'm too fly. I'm too fly. Bye-bye.
Oh, okay, cool.
Bye-bye, bye-bye. Here's to the memories.
Savage Sweetheart, good morning.
Used to be. Your friend said that you left me.
Y'all want to appreciate y'all, man. I really appreciate y'all and thank y'all for rocking with me for these 30 minutes. But y'all know what time it is. It's time for the sleeves to begin. Promises manifested. Good morning. Yeah. Y'all know what time it is. Good morning, y'all. Get your coffee, your tea, your drink, whatever it is you need. It's time for Like It or Not, y'all. 9 a.m. to 10:30, yeah. Like It or Not is on your channel, yeah. Politics and culture is we change skin like we're supposed to, yeah. Interviews and all the news, we get to choose what gets the views. Like It or Not with Queen Azor, it's starting now, so stick around. Like it or not, it's gone. I gotta be slow rolling up full screen. This had to be in the club on the phone and everything. Like it or not, y'all stick around. Rebecca Azor is coming through. You know she got a good story for you. Oh, Benjamin, that's my dog. This is his show. He's a politics bro. I am your DJ. DJ exclusive. Y'all know who I am. I stay dropping them jams. Like it or not, it's going down. Like it or not, y'all stick around. Oh, like it or not. You ain't getting full screen here, messed up. It's starting now. Like it or not, it's about to go down.
I've worked a lot of jobs in my life.
How are you?
I'm good. Thanks for coming.
Absolutely.
And for the past 4 years,
Thank you for our daily bread.
when the hardest times hit us all,
Amen.
I've worked to do my part to help families make it through.
There you go.
Paying off medical debt for 68,000 Georgians. Expanding access to vaccines. Bringing supplies to overwhelmed food banks. Lending a hand across our state, especially in rural Georgia. We help finance small businesses trying to stay afloat. And I spoke up for families being left behind. While my jobs have changed, what I know to be true has not. Our values are still strong. No matter where we come from in Georgia or how long we've been here, we believe in this place and our people. Folks who deserve to be seen and heard and have a voice. Because in the end, we are one Georgia. Regardless of the pandemic or the storms, the obstacles in our way or the forces determined to divide us. My job has been to put my head down and keep working toward one Georgia. For that farmer in Peach County, the teacher in Sparta, the mechanic in College Park, for our next generation who should have more than we can imagine. Because opportunity and success in Georgia shouldn't be determined by your zip code, background, or access to power. But if our Georgia is going to move to its next and greatest chapter, we're going to need leadership.
I think you'd make a really good governor. All you gotta do is stay tough and stay brave.
Thank you.
Leadership that knows how to do the job. Leadership that doesn't take credit without also taking responsibility. Leadership that understands the true pain folks are feeling and has real plans. That's the job of governor, to fight for one Georgia, our Georgia. And now it's time to get the job done.
Like It or Not with Benjamin Dixon starts now.
Good morning, people. Look, I'm trying to handle some business real quick.
That's all right. Handle business. Good morning and welcome to Like It or Not. I'm doing my Benjamin Dixon. Today is Thursday, December 2nd. Again, welcome to Like It or Not, where we're free to tell the truth.
I do not care who doesn't like it. Look. Thank you, Dwayne.
Are you checking the bank balance? Are you checking the bank balance right now?
I'm trying to pay the car note, girl, because so it'll crank up.
Oh Lord. And as our beautiful DJ who gave you 30 minutes of amazing music just now, as he gets his life together, because that's real life.
Together,
as he
honey.
gets his life together. That commercial that we just seen for Stacy Abrams running for governor here in Georgia, I think is, when Maxine Waters said, reclaiming my time, I believe that is exactly what Stacy Abrams is doing here in Georgia, especially with her recently lifting, assisting, being the voice, being the face for a lot of people who are volunteering to push for many votes to be put out for us to, have a change in the White House, have a change in our local seats. Stacy Abrams was the face for that. There were many people out here volunteering, but Stacy Abrams has been very vocal in pushing for people's rights to vote, for pushing in places where voters where there is a lot of voter suppression. This has been Stacy Abrams from day one. She's still been that person, been that girl, and I'm excited to see how this is going to, the whole campaign is gonna play out. I hope that we come out for this woman. I hope that we really show up and support her, because we see what happened in 2018, that loss, and she worked hard, she moved forward, she tried, and we still upheld her, and she still was doing the work on the ground with everyone else. And I want to see what happens as she runs, and I want to see the growth in that, because Governor Kemp is not
it.
There's a lot of words I could use right now, but he ain't. He's not what's up, and we saw what he did.
Giving.
Yeah, he's not giving what is supposed to be gave. We saw what he's done with the campaign. We saw so many times how he's put in or tries to put in laws in place that affect people of color and their voting rights. We saw what happened when he drug out Parker Cannon, Representative Parker Cannon, who's a friend to the show, when she wanted to look him in his face as he was signing over bills that were taking away the rights for people that look like me and you, and their rights to vote. And this is the constant thing that we've been dealing with since we've had Governor Kemp, how he's been dealing with the pandemic, how he's dealt with, a crisis when there's domestic terrorists here, how he's dealt with a lot of different issues, and there has been no true progress. It hasn't been, as Stacy has called it, one Georgia, even though, I ain't really with all that, because everything, will it really be one Georgia? I don't know. But, it hasn't been inclusive with everyone in Georgia. And that's what we've seen. And I hope everybody that see this campaign, especially when she dropped it yesterday, like a Beyonce album out of nowhere, I hope that we all really back her and support her. I really do.
Yeah. Definitely agreed. And she did drop that. I didn't even see that. I didn't even know she had that. I'm like, okay, Stacy. Like when I got the alert on my phone, it's just yes, Stacy Abrams has said that she will be running for governor. Okay, sister, let's get it. It's time. It's time again. We ain't gonna have no repeats of 2018. It is time to get Kemp's ass out of here. For real, for real.
In 2018, we had Donald Trump is president, and we knew those connections in especially the states as Georgia, Florida, we know Texas, those connections that Donald Trump had, especially with the leaders, who became governors, who became mayors of different towns, those people have all been like Governor Kemp, like literally, in these places. And we've seen the no progress. We've seen the movement in white supremacy. We've seen all of that literally grow. And the disrespect that happened in 2018 from the conservatives, from the Trump supporters who didn't like her. They called her all types of names. They called her a baby mama because she's a mother. She has a child. She's a single mama. All of that. They just went so hard to belittle her instead of make her qualified. The conversations were always disqualifying her, even in places where they were almost leaking into the black male community. I saw on Twitter as well, where they were having conversations saying that she was anti-men. And it was just like all these different conversations were taking place. And I'm like, we are missing the bigger picture here. She is somebody who was going to be good for Georgia, and I think that she's reclaiming her time. When people tried to define her, she stood her ground, and I know that it was a pain, and know that it was a hurt, but she stood her ground and was true to who she is. I'm reading a book called by Yvonne Orji called, what that book called?
Oh yeah,
it's right over there. I'm looking at it. I can't see the title. But I'm reading her book right now. And in the book, she talks about being who you are. And she, talks about it in a biblical way, where Paul turned into Saul turned into Paul when God fixed him and changed him around. But he went from killing folks and being this really terrible person, but change occurred and things like that. And, we go through life and we start off as this person and we become qualified. We go through life and we change and we do the work. Not saying you had to be like Paul and go kill folks. We ain't on that.
Right.
But, in a way where you were somebody, you've been through life, there are a lot of ways that people want to judge you for, but you become this new person and you are who you are. You're qualified to be who you are. I know I spoke about this on the show before, but in the book, she talks about that and how Paul, when he becomes renewed, he says, I am who I am. Y'all not going to make me unqualified when I know I've done the work, when I know where my heart is, where I know where my feet are planted, when I know what the change is. I'm not just saying this because it's part of the campaign. You've seen me on the ground. You see me knock on doors, not for cameras, but because this is what I do. You see me, rally people together to get things done. You see me fight for the rights of everyone to vote, specifically people of color, specifically black people, because we are targeted the most when our voting rights, when it comes to voting suppression here in America. We have Cliff Albright, who is here in Georgia, who does the work and the fight every single day out here.
Every day.
Along with Park Cannon, along with Renita as well, Representative Renita Shannon, who is friends with them. So that whole group, they do the work every single day with the filibuster going on, all of these different things. And I know that Stacey Abrams will be great for us. I know that for sure.
And then, how we gonna go to my big ass rolling and gyrating on screen to this good old wholesome lady like Seven Sweethearts said?
It was so funny. The thing is, look, Bubba, the thing is, I knew that this was happening this morning, but I didn't know you were just playing this whole, set. And then, because I didn't play it in my head out, because David did tell me, okay, we're going to do this, Rebecca, what do you think? I said, yeah, let's roll with it. And now I'm like it or not.
I'm talking about I was all in it too.
And then you were giving me back, chest, all of that, and head action. And then next thing you know, I am running for governor. I believe that the state of Georgia won Georgia. I'm like, oh Lord.
Like, if y'all come to Georgia, this is what y'all get. Welcome to Georgia.
This is what y'all get. Y'all get the best of both worlds. You can get, you get the strip club, you know what I'm saying? You get a leg wiggle, and you also get Stacey Abrams. So, you get, it's good. It's good. It's good for us. No, but Stacey Abrams will be good for us. I believe that for sure.
Yeah.
And so will,
most definitely.
And so will And so will we, like it or not, okay? You're going to get what you get with Bubba. Bubba, how was that? You know, because I know, you know, Ben isn't here and you covered for him today. Yeah. But you covered it with, you know, with your art, with your music, you know, your music strength, your DJing. So how was it? Because I know it's been a minute since we've even got you to play that long on air.
Right.
So, like, how was that?
You know, it was fun, and actually it felt like it went super fast. It felt like I only played like maybe 5 or 6 songs, but I'm like, dang. But yeah, it was fun though. I enjoyed that. And shout out to everybody that sent me some cash apps. I appreciate that.
I was dancing to you this morning. Yes, I was dancing to you this morning, and I was like, "Oh, yes." That's when David was like, "I see you lit. Lit where? How can you see me? Are you at home? How do you know what I'm doing?" But he's like, "Are you ready to go on early?" And I was like, "No, I gotta do my makeup." So yeah,
which is on Fleek. They don't say Fleek no more. Which is popping, by the way.
Remember when we did the we used to play in the morning, and I used to be on time because I used to work late in the day, and we would do you would do like these mixes, and there was the Anita Baker particular mix. I miss those days. I miss those days when the struggle was 24 hours. And now I feel like it's rough out here, but we're going somewhere with it. But I miss you mixing in the morning and having everybody on. So
behind the scenes mixing where everybody's just jamming, we get some good recorded video footage and everything, and just like now
the early vibes. So you know, people who were in the waiting, waiting on YouTube, last year they would get Bubba playing the good stuff, but we had to take that away because it was preventing us from being monetized.
That's actually a good segue, Rebecca. Good morning.
Yeah. Good morning. Good morning. How are you?
I'm good. I'm glad I'm glad you showed up for me. I appreciate it.
Yeah,
You were lit up though. You were. I wasn't seeing things. I was like, why does Rebecca look like she's online already?
I was so online. I was online this morning. I was. So I was like, let me be early to these people's show. Let me be early because I know Ben gonna be watching, trying to pop in. And Ben, if you are watching,
right,
do not pop it. Do not pop in, Benjamin.
Do not.
And if it Dwayne, we already got Dwayne access denied for Ben if you try to come in.
Please.
But on that note, speaking about playing for 24 hours, we got a special thing going tomorrow as an experiment for things we've discussed in the background.
Yeah. The 24 hours. Can you go ahead and discuss it with them, David?
So James
said 24 hours. Ooh, shit.
James says he's up to the task. Not as long as we originally anticipated, but we're going to experiment with a Patreon-a-thon tomorrow for our patron party and go from 6 p.m. to like midnight, 1 a.m. I mean, I wouldn't be surprised if James goes longer because he usually hangs out with everybody, but that's still a long time to play, so I'm not going to put it on him.
Yeah.
Hey,
I'm with
the more you pay, the longer I stay.
The more you pay, the longer Bubba plays. And let me tell you something right now. So I know I'm going to put this out there real quick. I know that it is. Look, I'm looking for my Zoom so I can see myself. I know that it is the holidays, DAZE. And I know that we've been going through a lot of transitions within the show. As the more you pay, the more we can stay. The more you pay, the more Bubba can play. The more we'll be freed from the shackles of our corporate jobs. I know I say this every day, but I don't say this because I'm trying to drain you guys for yours. I'm really just telling you guys, the more support we get, and I am so grateful. We are so grateful for every single patron, for all the support that we have gotten, for all the support we are getting. It definitely helps. Every single thing helps. The shares, the likes, the patron subscriptions, all of it. Everything helps us. But as we continue to grow and move forward, we want to grow and move forward and out of what we're working in now so that we can give you more, so that we can be more consistent in the content that we give you, so that we can be here every single day. That is the goal. And that's what we will be pushing for every day, and especially be a Bubba. We be hungry.
Okay. We be hungry, girl. What?
So, and when we say, And when we say, before we get to this next story, when we say that, when you guys give, it is beautiful, it's wonderful, but that there are times that we have to wait for 30 days to receive the money when it comes through the super chats, which we are grateful for, and at times when it comes through the Patreon account, which we are always grateful for, because that's what keeps us going. If you want to directly send to us so that we receive the money today, hit up our Cash Apps. Mine is Becca's Voice, Bubba.
DJ X3C.
Dwayne, you don't get much airtime. Drop yours, Dwayne.
And DJ X3C, go ahead. It's on real time. Dwayne, what's yours?
Your Cash App.
My Cash App. I'm gonna have to get back to you. I don't even know what it is.
Are you feeding the baby? Are you feeding the baby right now?
No.
Oh, you just chilling. It's your time. You at work, Dwayne. Pay attention to us.
You're right.
I feel neglected.
I'm at work in 2 places.
What's your Cash App, David?
I believe it's DKG87. I was trying to beat you to it and pull it up, but I believe it's DKG87. Might be 3387.
And just drop it in the chat, you guys. Again, it gets to us quicker. We're able to have it. We're able to move. We're able to do what we need to do. Again, it's Becca's Voice, DJ X3C, and those will be in the chat. For this next story, though, I'm going to take it serious, as Ben said. Now, this is a hard pivot. This is a hard pivot. But this story has been going viral. It's been on social media. I've been seeing it. I haven't watched the footage. I didn't want to hear the sounds. I didn't want to really actually hear in my ear the story. So I read tidbits, and I was talking to David about it yesterday night. A cop is fired after shooting a 61-year-old, shooting dead a 61-year-old in a wheelchair. The suspected shoplifter is in a motorized chair. He had a knife and was shot 9 times. This is a trigger warning. Okay,
I have taken the audio. I've taken some of the audio out, so it's not as much as it was.
Okay, let's take a look.
Got his knife in his other hand. Okay. You're not going to the store, sir.
Stop now. You need.
Bravo 1-8, shots fired.
I'll get my attack.
Jesus Christ. The silence is killing me too. I just don't
the silence is kind of, it doesn't help no matter what, but yeah.
We have 1 gunshot victim. Officers are code 4.
Bravo 1-5, is it code 4 for meds to move in at this point?
I forgot about this part.
Bravo 15, I'll need units here, code 3. We got a lot of people here.
10-4, stand by just 1. Is it okay for meds to move in? Is the scene secure?
Yeah, scene's code 4, meds can move in.
So an Arizona officer was fired after he allegedly fatally shot a shoplifting suspect in a wheelchair. As we saw, police said at a press conference on Tuesday that Ryan Remington, a 4-year police veteran in Tucson, was fired for excessive use of force after he reportedly shot 61-year-old Richard Lee Richards 9 times, saying, quote, "I am deeply troubled by Officer Remington's actions. His use of deadly force in this incident is a clear violation of department policy and directly contradicts multiple aspects of our use of force training." And that's what the Tucson police chief said. And he went on to say, as a result, the department moved earlier today to terminate Officer Remington.
Did you get his, what? I just want to make sure, I don't know if you have it, his lawyer's quote, the cop's lawyer's quote.
No, what was that one?
So I was curious. I really wanted to, I was like, there's no defense. So what? He said that he argued that Remington had no, quote, non-lethal options when engaging. Quote, he did have a taser, but in his mind, he couldn't use it because he didn't feel he had the proper spread to deploy it with the wheelchair between him and Richards. I'll leave that to you.
So you telling me that,
and I think I think it's safe to say in this instance to take allegedly and reportedly out of these statements because
yes,
it was clear.
We saw it.
It was clear.
It's clear. And then that last shot, you paused. You wanted to do that. You paused on that last shot. Pow, 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 pow. Pow.
Right, yeah, there was definitely like here's one more for good measure type of thing.
Jesus Christ. A man in a wheelchair. A man in a wheelchair, 61 years old. You assumed he had a knife. A knife. What they say? You don't bring a knife to a
gunfight.
A gunfight. Even if he had a knife, you pull out. He's in a wheelchair. You pull out a gun and shoot him 9 times. The excessive force. And when we have these conversations. And again, you pointed out something very well, Dwayne. What we saw is not allegedly. It is not reportedly. It is not as CNN reports. It's not as MSNBC reports. We literally seen this. This is actual footage. What the media likes to do is allegedly, but we saw it. So how can it be allegedly? And here is what the issue is. They want us to use that to say, we're going to do an investigation. This is where I get upset with those kind of things. We see
right.
And they want us to use those kind of words to investigate. And this is where that due process situation comes in, right? We have to have due process that's going to take this length of time, but for something that we've seen, act now. And these police officers get off a lot of times. This use of this excessive, this force, and this is what they're trained to do. They think that they're in the army, and we know what people say to the people in the army. It's like you are, you're trained killers. Like this is what you do. My nephew's in there right now. That's what they're calling him right now. You're a machine that's trained to kill. These officers get training for one day, and they walk out and they believe that they are machines trained to kill, not to serve and protect. Not to serve and protect. This man in a wheelchair seemed so much as a threat to the officer that he had to shoot him 9 times. The man already dead, but he did it for, like you said, for good measure.
I mean, in this case, allegedly and investigate is basically code for while we deal with the union, and the union tries to get his way out of it.
Yep. Mm-hmm. Yep.
Because you can't get your way out of this. Because what's going to happen now is they think that since they fired him, that makes this okay, and no charges will be filed against him. Man,
gotta get charged. I mean, come on.
There's no way that this man cannot be charged. That was clearly.
Well,
he meant to do that.
I'd be shocked when these little officers and little young men don't get charged. And speaking of not getting charged, I know this is probably not even on today's conversation list. We've seen with Kyle Rittenhouse, right? What he did. And remember, we had that conversation the other day about Kyle and how he will be an example for a lot of the domestic terrorists white domestic terrorists to go do what they're doing and, shoot up schools and get off and all those kind of things. And later that day, there was a shooting in Michigan, in Detroit, Oxford shooting.
Yeah, no, we were going to have it. And then it didn't make, we don't have it though.
Yeah, that's okay. Cause we can still talk about it. There was an Oxford shooting. And the 15-year-old is a 15-year-old suspect and killed, I believe, 4 people now. 1 died in the hospital. And so 8 injured in total from this high school shooting. And it didn't even make the above the fold story on a lot of newspapers. It didn't even really go as viral. It was just another day, another news, another shooting. Because that's the Kyle Rittenhouse effect, right? That's the shooters before him. That's the effect. Because it's been happening so often and he may or may not get off on this because of mental issues or whatever, but it's the way as they try to coddle these people, like they probably will try to coddle the officer that shot the 61-year-old man in the chair. How we saw them do Dylan Roof, how we saw them do the Atlanta spa killer, how we've heard them treat these people. This man, this 15-year-old, Ethan Crumbly, took his father's shotgun that his father just purchased, came to that school, and then shot it up. Shot people, killed people, injured people, sent people to the hospital. Some people are still, like, someone was considered brain dead. Somebody died in the back of a police car. This is a domestic terrorist shooting from Ethan Crumbly, who was the 15-year-old. But the first images that were coming out for Ethan Crumbly were him in like 5th grade. That little boy in like 5th grade. They wanted to do that thing that they did with Kyle Rittenhouse, make him young Meek. And he's just a child. Why we gotta see this? The way that boy looks now is pretty crazy, pretty suspect, pretty alarming. Okay, and he looks older. He looks like somebody who should be tried as an adult, which they have decided. But he looks like somebody who should be tried as an adult, and I don't understand why the first thing that they try to do in the media was show him in his 5th grade, little glasses, one tooth, kind of. I was very disturbed with that. I'm like, what does this boy look like now? What does he look like right now? We need to see this killer. But that's what they do with white killers. And then I saw with the killer at the parade. They ran through the parade. I think the Thanksgiving parade recently, or the whatever parade that was for the holidays. And the killer, who was black, who they had that man's mugshot up 3 different times, 3 different ways. 3 different looks ASAP. They didn't have a photo of him looking meek, as they shouldn't. They should have him up because that man done killed people. We should look at him as for who he is. But when we saw Ahmaud Arbery, they was trying to show him looking crazy. And they also, which is somebody who was murdered by white men, they wanted to show him in the media looking crazy. And they also wanted to talk about his dirty toenails and him being in the wrong place at the wrong time. Those kind of things. But this boy that just shot up a school yesterday, they wanted to show him in his 5th grade, meek, humble. He's just a baby. He was going through some hard times, that whole thing. I have a problem with how police officers are depicted, and I have a problem with how white terrorists are depicted in this country.
Amen.
And how the justice system coddles them, and how the media rolls right into the rhetoric and pushes out that same narrative when it comes to those people. I don't like it. I don't like it at all. White supremacy bleeds through how the justice system sees little young white shooters and older white shooters, just white shooters, period. And it also bleeds through how our police officers move. They put on that uniform and they think they're better than the rest. Literally. They think that they are above everything. They go out there, they see a target and they shoot. And they especially use black people for target practice. And they have opportunities and chances to get off after murdering people. Whew. It's a lot. And all this happened in a week. And we just called it on that show, speaking about Kyle Rittenhouse. We literally just called it and said, this is just going to create opportunity for more people to go out and think that they have the chance to go kill and say, I was scared. Like you said, I couldn't get to my taser quick enough. And I felt like it was such a threat. I had to use my gun and shoot 9 times. There will be, as we saw, a lawyer who comes out and tries to make that stick. And will we be surprised if it does? Because the judge may be somebody as fickle, as blatantly racist
as Judge Schroeder.
Amen.
Quote unquote judge.
Quote unquote judge, or whatever that was for Rittenhouse. But he's free. He's walking. He's out here in these streets. And those kind of shootings are enlightening other little shooters, to do what they do because they may have an opportunity to get off. That's how other police officers see it. Like you say, they're protected by a union who will cover them, who will give them pay, who will do those kind of things. There's always a protection for the murderer, but for the murdered and their family, it's usually a dragged out court cases and court hearings and pain just dragged out for years and years and years, and they have to see the face of this officer or see the face of the murderers, the child murderers, the domestic terrorists daily until something happens or not. Sick America. Very sick. And then this next story coming up, as sick as America is, Representative Ilhan Omar. She plays a death threat, and she gets constant death threats at a press conference. She plays a voicemail containing death threats at the conference, which was received after her meeting with Lauren Boebert regarding her Islamophobic comments, which that lady has refused to apologize for.
And before we play it, I just want to make sure we're up to speed because Rebecca, we covered this the other day, but you weren't with us when we did. So I'm actually kind of glad that she is still pushing it and giving us a chance to discuss further. But D2 will give the comments, so we might want to play D2 before we play D1. D2 is both things that Boebert has been up to, both when Rep Gozar was being censored for his anime video and then during Thanksgiving break.
Let's take a look.
Policies are so pathetic and have done so poorly that the left has nothing else to do but troll the internet looking for ways to get offended and then try to target members and strip them of their committees. This is a dumb waste of the House's time. But since the Speaker has designated the floor to discuss members' inappropriate actions, shall we? The Jihad Squad member from Minnesota has paid her husband, and not her brother husband, the other one, over $1 million in campaign funds. This member is allowed on the Foreign Affairs Committee while praising terrorists.
Actually, I have an Ilhan story for you. So, the other night on the House floor was not my first Jihad Squad moment. So I was getting into an elevator with one of my staffers, and he and I we're leaving the Capitol. We're going back to my office, and we get in the elevator, and I see a Capitol police officer running hurriedly to the elevator. I see fret all over his face, and he's reaching, and I'm like, "What? I can't. The door's shutting. Like I can't open it. Like what's happening?" I look to my left, and there she is, Ilhan Omar. Oops. And I said, "Well, she doesn't have a backpack. We should be fine." So we only had one floor to go, and I was like, do I say it or not? I looked over, and I said, "Oh, look, the Jihad Squad decided to show up for work today."
Yep.
It's just her staffers on Twitter that talk for her. She's not tough in person. She doesn't, yes. So there's a little bit of interaction with these folks.
Yeah, we watched it on Monday. Yeah, and just totally disgusted because she put out a bullshit ass apology that was like that she called an apology that was more BS.
Yeah, I didn't even include that clip because it's not worth the 2 minutes to play. Her just going on about Christianity and being a good Christian while doing this, which I mean, I don't know how those two connect, but but I see Rebecca's reaction. So the raw reaction that you could just, and the one other thing I'll say before we get Rebecca to discuss and go to the other clip, which is the voicemail clip, is that amidst this, as Rep Omar was commenting on it, one thing we didn't show on Monday or Tuesday, whatever day it was a tweet from Steve King, Representative Steve King, who himself has been punished in the past for similar types of behavior. And he was talking about how the year Rep. Omar was brought into Congress, was elected and sworn in, there were other anonymous representatives that he was quoting, joking about how she could have a bomb under her turban.
What the hell did I just watch? It's hands on sight, but past the hands on sight, you know, this woman is really doing stand-up comedy about Ilhan, her colleague, Representative Ilhan Omar, who, you know, everybody in this world, we already went through that time where people would see people who look like Ilhan and say that's a terrorist. And this is her fellow representative working alongside her that understands what the world is, that should, but doing comedic stand-up, knowing what kind of people that she leads. Mm-hmm. And this will lead, these are the people that Lauren leads are the same people that will go out, not only do that threats, park in front of your home with their shotgun, call you all kinds of terrorists, pick on your child, and somebody will actually take the opportunity and try and pull the trigger. Mm-hmm. This is the kind of, when she opens her mouth to do this kind of rhetoric, it's putting people like Ilhan Omar, people who look like her, lives in danger. This is racist in every single way. How is she still seated? How?
They don't care, Rebecca. They don't care at all. They get away with all of this crap every time to talk about this stuff and talk all this rhetoric and cause all this extra unneeded stuff, and nothing is done about it.
This is actually,
like, it's allowed to happen.
This is very, very alarming. This is alarming. I feel like I've seen this before in some other way, but no matter how many times that I see this, whether it's from Marjorie Taylor Greene, whether it's from whoever, it's still very alarming because you're putting people's lives in danger. And for you to joke around about what happened at the Capitol, my Jesus, today, yesterday, and tomorrow, for you to joke around about Capitol officers running up and all that, it's not funny. It's not funny.
Well, this is what it leads to. Let's get to the voicemail.
Let's take a look at what Ilhan Omar played at the press conference.
I'm going to play you a voicemail that we received hours after I got off the phone with Representative Boebert after she posted her video.
We see you Muslims saying we know what you're up to. You're all about taking over the country. Don't worry, there's plenty that will love the opportunity to take you off the face of the earth. Come get it, you Muslim piece of shit, you jihadist. We know what you are. You're a traitor. You will not live much longer. I can almost guarantee you that these people are rising up, and you will be tried for a military tribunal, and you will be found guilty.
For those of you who did not hear it very well, let me read you what the voicemail says. We see you, sand N-word bitch. We know what you are up to. You are all about taking over our country. Don't worry, there is plenty that would love the opportunity to take you off the face of this effing earth. Come get it. But you are effing Muslim piece of shit. You are jihadist. We know what you are. You are effing traitor, and you will not live any longer. Condemning this should not be a partisan issue. This is about our basic humanity and fundamental rights of religious freedom enshrined in our Constitution.
her saying, condemning this shouldn't be a partisan issue, and I believe that. I believe that,
Right.
I ain't about bipartisanship, but this is a people thing. But I feel like we've already placed, and we being the people who are seated, the people who are regular patrons of the world, the people, everybody in this world, the way that and I'll make it more, I'll condense it down to America. In America, and I speak about this all the time, and not to disrespect Americans, like Ben was saying, his history and his family goes back way further within most white Americans that he knows. But in America, I wish that it could be all about the people, the melting pot that they speak of, the coming here and being able to live a dream. It all doesn't come for the people of color or the people with different beliefs, people who live different kind of lives. It all comes at a cost. Mm-hmm. And she made history as, someone of her faith to be seated, to be able to wear her hijab, to be able to be who she is and still fight for American rights. And people are still seeing her as other, as unqualified. You see what I'm talking about right here? The same way they saw Stacy Abrams as a black unqualified woman, they're doing that with Ilhan, Representative Ilhan Omar. And no matter what happens, they're not going to see her as equal. No, even though she's fighting for the rights of everyone, These death threats should not be something that is going on to her. She already was dealing with that when she was seated. Now to have that accelerated and pushed further because bobblehead, Representative Lauren, Bobert, whatever, she wanted to make a joke that can cost her fellow representative her life. That is not who I want to be in control of my life here in America. I don't think that is okay. I don't think that somebody who blatantly, proudly is Islamophobic, who does these anti-Muslim jokes, who does these terrorist jokes, who knows that her people are a part of what happened on January 6th, who were the true terrorists. It doesn't sit right with me. And for her to have to stand there, and she has a child, for her to have to stand there and be afraid every day, to listen to these voicemails, to be confronted with people who don't like her, all off of, especially new trolls, all off of what her fellow representative said about her and thought it was comical. This is dangerous, you guys. This is dangerous. This rhetoric, this narrative, this is dangerous, and it should not be going on. And people like Marjorie Taylor Greene and people like Lauren should not be seated. There should be repercussions for your actions.
And I just want to add in that I was curious what's going on. Besides the blatant contrast between how this is being handled by leadership and how AOC was handled. Because when Gozar made that anime video, within days they were already talking censorship, punishment, removal. Omar's been calling for, and everyone that's in her caucus and circles have been supporting, including Representative Bush, have been, and others have been calling for that. And meanwhile, McCarthy, the Republican leader, is also silent. When I looked it up, apparently behind the scenes, they're being cautious because they're worried about giving it too much attention. They think that because people like Boebert and Gozar and Marjorie Greene are doing it for publicity, punishing them helps them raise money. I don't see how that should, so what? It still shouldn't be tolerated.
And it doesn't matter. Like you said, I don't see no, they need to be punished for their actions. They should not be seated. We should have a better system that understands that putting people's lives at risk and in danger. And it only shows you who those people were on January 6th. they didn't care whose lives they put in danger, which were people like Ilhan and her counterparts and those people. They were the ones that were fearing their lives the most. Why wasn't the representatives like Lauren and Marjorie Taylor Greene and old boy that had Lil Charlie Kirk, why weren't they afraid? Lil Charlie Kirk with the buses full of little terrorists, domestic terrorists. Why weren't they afraid? Why are they able to come out and make jokes about that? This ain't normal. This ain't right. This is not right. And I fear for her. Mm-hmm. I fear for her because we already know about how America painted terrorists to look like. They refuse to let us look at a white face and attach that to the word terrorist. When we think terrorists from way back when 9/11 happened, we think Muslim, we think Middle Eastern. Clearly, that's it. We think it has to be a religious thing and anybody from the Middle East. That's what America taught us to think about terrorists. And for Lauren, she literally looks like the domestic terrorist here. Y'all effing up your own countries, but you want people to think it's mostly people who are from the Middle East that are doing this in America. Wow.
And you can clearly look at her face, Representative Omar's face, and tell that she was shook by it. You can tell when the whole conference is going on. Shaken.
Yeah.
Clearly shaken by it. And nobody should have to go through that.
Yes, no one should have to go through that. But especially the people who are put in place to try to make America better. Not great, but to make it better for us. The people who we get the less than, who get the crumbs. You know, somebody who understands it from a point of view of being at the bottom. I don't understand why she will have to deal with this, but that's what America does. That's what America does. And every issue that we talk about here, it just circles back to the protection of white fragility and the protection of white supremacy, the protection of how the laws were created to exclude protecting people of color, Black people here in America. It doesn't matter where you're seated. That's what I be trying to tell y'all this. You could be at the table. They will still try to quiet you up and make you understand your place, the place that they created for you, the box that they put you in. They want to they want you to identify with how they see you. They do. And even though it can be very dangerous for you to speak up, Ilhan Omar, in all of her fear, knows that she has to speak up for those who are coming after her, for those who are living her life right now and who can relate, for those who are in marginalized groups. We got to be protected. And somebody's going to have to do it. Somebody's going to have to speak up. And it comes with a lot. It really does. And I hate that we don't even know, other than Secret Service, how much she'll be protected. We don't know. No one should have access to getting to, they should be screening these calls. It's very dangerous. It's very dangerous. But I pray for her. And I really, I wish there was more that I can say than just my words that would get Representative, not Ilhan, but Lauren out of her seat. That could get Marjorie Taylor Greene out of her seat. That could remove people like Little Charlie Kirk, that could remove all these blatantly racist people, but Donald Trump has created that. And even before Donald Trump, this was always the people that were seated. They felt like they had more voices when Donald Trump was president. But now that Donald Trump is removed, we don't even have to speak about him. They're already in positions where they feel very, very, very much empowered, that they did what they did on January 6th. And many of them are still sitting in their seats. Many of them are still your doctors. Many of them are still your judges, Judge Schroeder. Many of them are still taking these places in America while we're still fighting every day for our lives. No matter what seat we're seated at the table, no matter what corporate job we're working at, no matter what area we're living in, no matter where we are on the hierarchy level, we're still fighting for some form of peace, justice, togetherness, unity. We're still fighting for that every single day. Jesus. Prayers up for Milhan. I hope that she is protected. And I know this really takes a toll on her mental health. I know this takes a toll on her trying to do some work, some good work. She got to stop in the middle of her doing some good work to address this matter. While Lauren gets up every day, feeds her kids, talks about her having babies in the back of a pickup truck. Marjorie Taylor Greene is talking about being a gun-toting person and the rights of and how gun rights should be more loose and all of that here and there, when we have 15-year-olds getting access to guns like nobody's business. And shooting up schools more than often. These are our leaders. Whew, child, let me take a breather on right there. All right, everybody who's watching, let's do a breathing exercise. It's a lot. So I need you to inhale, 1, 2, 3. Inhale a deep one. Now I need you to exhale. We're going to do that again. This time you're going to inhale real deep. And when you exhale, I need you to exhale whatever you're feeling right now. But, whatever it is, let's exhale whatever feeling that we're feeling right now, because I know that was a lot. So let's go ahead. We're going to do that. 1, 2, 3. Inhale real good. Now exhale.
Like it or not, meditation.
Right. Okay. Woo. All right, we're moving on to the next story, baby. Let's talk about Let's talk about the Cuomo brothers. I know we haven't really touched in on that, but let's talk about the Cuomo brothers. Right now, former Governor Andrew Cuomo is deposed amid new reports of how his brother, Chris Cuomo, a CNN anchor, whom we all know, used his sources to get info on the governor's accusers. Chris Cuomo responds to suspension from CNN on his satellite radio show, saying, "It hurts to even say it. It's embarrassing, but I understand it. And I understand why some people feel the way they do about what I did. I've apologized in the past, and I mean it." Speaking of, the accusations that came out about his brother, the sexual harassment allegations, and the, him stepping down and all the information. I mean, it's his brother. He gonna try to get some information. But the thing about Cuomo is, if it were someone else, that would be the news that he started with. And we know how Cuomo is too. He does his monologues and before the show or at the end of the show, where he would, if it was someone else, get them together for doing the very thing that he did or has been doing for his brother. The apology now, he's suspended. Chris Cuomo suspended indefinitely as of right now for his show on CNN, but yet he still has a satellite show, so his voice is still heard and his voice is still out there. But for him to say that he already apologized, it is what it is. It's very interesting. It's very, very interesting. We need. You have a big viewership, and there have been other cases of sexual harassment that you've been very vocal in. There have been other cases of other things that your brother has been handling, like the pandemic and the numbers that could have possibly been hidden. And CNN likes to call themselves very unbiased or being able to tell the story, but we know in 2021 it's very hard to be unbiased, especially if you relate to the story.
Right.
Here, him being the brother, I don't even think I think that the first time they talked about it, he shouldn't even been the one covering the story. But a lot of people were pressuring him to do so. And because it makes for good clicks and good views, CNN did put him at the front of covering his brother's story. Here we are. And now we're questioning the integrity of journalism, right? It's all just a big old mess, but I don't know what's going to come of it, because as I've talked to my dad, I was talking to my dad over the break. He was like, the Cuomo brothers and the Cuomo family has created a dynasty already. They're pretty much safe with what they've created. So Cuomo being fired or suspended indefinitely until further notice from CNN, there is some protection there. They've already probably had talks about him stepping down, because this is not the first time this has been brought up about the way that Cuomo has handled his brother and the allegations of a sexual harassment. So there probably have been talks to, a safety net created for him for if he is fired or if he has to step down. There's a safety net that was created for him. Same thing, I feel like, with Governor Cuomo. It was a little bit of time in between him stepping down. He's still regarded as the best thing to ever happen to New York. It's almost a popularity situation. And the love that he's given, there is a dynasty that's created. So no matter what we say and no matter the allegations that are against both him and his brother at CNN and for Andrew Cuomo and the sexual harassment allegations, there's still a protection that they have with popularity and with what the relationship that they have with New York. People love him. People respect him. So I don't really see much coming out of this, and I don't really see a forced apology coming from Chris. That's my tea. They're protected. What else we got on the list? What else we got on the list? All right, you know what? Let's go down to Jussie Smollett.
Jussie Smollett.
Jussie Smollett. Let's go down to Jussie. Yeah, we remember a few years ago, I think it was in 2019, there was an attack that happened, allegedly, right? Because we ain't seen nothing. An alleged attack that happened on him. Where he was Jussie Smollett, actor Jussie Smollett from Empire, known for his role in Empire, where he was attacked. He was taken. There was a ransom. There was a note. It was the whole nines. And then it was revealed that he did it all himself. It was planned and allegedly because he wasn't getting enough money. Now, the way that he played himself was when he called himself the gay Tupac, being freed from the people who took him. The man went to go perform. The man called himself the gay Tupac. All of this stuff, only to have planned this whole thing himself. Now, there were many jokes that were made about it. There was so much that was made about it. We joked about it, him planning it himself. People said, all these different things that surrounded that case. But it was to me, it was hurtful for me for the LGBTQIA community because he did that in the name of saying, he was abused because of him being gay, and he is the gay Tupac. He is risen. All kinds of that. I'm like, don't do that. You just allegedly wanted more money or whatever was going on personally in your life, and you planned this whole thing. When people are getting taken for ransom, there are people who are, these things are happening in the world, and to play with your life because of whatever you were feeling in that moment, to me was very, very ridiculous. But Jussie Smollett, and this is the update with this court case, the jury selection began in the actor's trial. The actor is accused of staging an attack on himself, but most recently, and this is an update I just saw this morning, they picked one black juror in his case so far. And the only reason I think that we want to bring this up is because we've been... Go ahead.
The case actually already started. So the clip we have is basically the story if you want it, but the witnesses and the opening arguments and everything has already. It's actually, I think it's in day 2 now, day 2 or day 3, and the brothers that claim that they were hired and rehearsed with him are expected to possibly testify as well.
Yeah,
I was just about to ask what happened to what happened to them.
The Nigerian brothers.
They're not being charged.
There's a lot.
Wow.
There's a lot going on.
They're testifying for the prosecution.
Okay.
Oh.
Okay. So, but with all that being said, let's take a look at what's going on so far with the case. Play the clip.
This was actor Jussie Smollett in 2019, celebrating after prosecutors made the controversial decision to drop criminal charges against him, instead ordering him to perform community service.
I've been truthful and consistent on every single level since day one.
That agreement later overruled after a special prosecutor reinvestigated the case and found abuse of discretion and operational failures by the Cook County State's attorney. In February 2020, a new grand jury indicted Smollett on 6 felony disorderly conduct charges for lying to police. The bizarre case began on a cold night in Chicago. Smollett told police he was coming home from Subway around 2 a.m. when he says 2 men attacked him while yelling racist and homophobic slurs, threw bleach on him, and put a noose around his neck.
Do you want to take it off or anything? Yeah, I do. I just wanted y'all to see.
But after putting hundreds of hours into investigating the case, police say Smollett's alleged attackers were 2 brothers from Nigeria that Smollett paid $3,500 to stage the attack.
So what's going on here? Am I being arrested?
The Osundaro brothers have expressed regret for their part in the alleged scheme and are expected to testify for the prosecution. They have not been charged with a crime. Over the summer, Smollett's attorney accused the special prosecutor of political motives, writing in a statement, "Mr. Smollett is innocent of these charges, and now we are focused on moving forward to trial."
Now, legal experts tell NBC News that Smollett faces a maximum of 3 years in prison if convicted, but it's more likely that he would be sentenced to probation because he does have a clean record. Cameras are not allowed in the courtroom.
Cameras aren't allowed in the courtroom because we know Jesse's going to say a lot of BS, as you were saying. The man literally disappeared from the face of the earth because he knew he was wrong. He disappeared from the face of the earth. Y'all, people were putting up, Lee Daniels put up a video of him FaceTiming Jesse and Jesse having the marks on his face and everybody saying, you know, we're covering him. We're praying for him. The pastors of every church were praying for him and what happened and saying, you know, it doesn't, regardless of who he is or what he believes or his sexuality, because they believe that it was part of him being gay and things like that. That's why they took him and those kind of things. You know, he needs to be covered. Then people from all walks of life really were coming into this conversation to protect him, only to find out. And the next day, like I think it was like after he was released, the man acted like he just came out of the hospital, got on stage to perform, and said that he, you know, I am the gay Tupac. They can't hold me back. They try to hold me down. And that wasn't, and to know that he planned it all himself. How do you live with this? You put a lot of people's lives in danger. You put a group of people, all these different things that you did. It's ridiculous. And that's why he won't want anybody in the courtroom. And that's why, but here, even in this case though, you did all of this and planned it all by yourself when these things are really happening in life. Do you guys think that probation is something that should be what he gets? That is a fitting, that's fitting for him to get probation.
This noose around his neck is taking me out. He put this fake
will be a
ass.
questionable.
Did you see the rope?
It was the black face. It was the people in the car. It was
right.
It was them purchasing it at the store on camera. It was all of that. It was these Nigerian brothers supposedly being gay, not gay, all these different conversations that were happening. It was like, where was the storyline? Did y'all come up with it good enough? Because we're not. It's a joke.
All of this for clout.
I would be curious to see what he testifies and what he says, because him and his family actually spoke yesterday to the press, I think, continue to claim that that you know, I guess they're lying, the brothers, and that he was attacked. He's at least been consistent again about his story, regardless of what actually happened. But yeah, no, it's yeah. As far as the probation, Rebecca, I mean, this might be a controversial take, but he's not a danger to society, so I don't know. I don't see why it would be a service to society to put him in jail. Like, jail's already problematic in a lot of different ways, the way we utilize incarceration, but I just feel like it doesn't serve a purpose to put him away.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. And then like that $3,500 check, they claim it's for, it was for personal training. And I'm just like, it just still doesn't answer. Like, it doesn't add up right. And like, were the Nigerian brothers okay? So if that check was for personal training, right? And let's say that they did attack him, but who had the MAGA hat and who had all this extra stuff that where all of this came from, and it showed you purchasing all of this? It's just a lot. And then there was phone calls after everything happened, if I'm not mistaken, right? Didn't they reach out to each other or something like that?
Yeah, so dumb. Now, people with money do dumb stuff like that. Like, it's just dumb.
Right.
But I say this because I know me and David were having a conversation about it. I think if we would be remiss if we didn't cover these different cases, because I know we're going to cover the white cases. We're going to cover, we're going to do that. And people who should be behind bars. We're going to do that. But in this case as well, it's just funny. The abuse of the system that people with money do as well. Just because you didn't get your way, you throw a tantrum and you make it seem like to get more popularity and clout, you really put people's lives in danger, especially making it seem like this particular marginalized group was attacked in this place and this and that. You can't play with people's lives like that. You can't do that.
And then trying to put it on... I appreciate what he was trying to do, but bro, god damn it, you got to plan better than that, man. Like, damn,
it's crazy.
You trying to say it was MAGA?
It was my. And then you wanted. It was you doing a show directly after for me. You ever see that meme of somebody saying they in the hospital, like they called in sick to work? It's like a photo going around, and then he took the iPhone earplugs and put it in his nose, and it really looks like he's in the hospital. It looks like he's really in the hospital. That's literally almost what Jussie Smollett did. It's like he called people while he was in the bed. Like, I'm like, that's not giving. That's giving me at home low light setting, and he's scratching his face. He really did all of that. I hope that he sought out, mental help. There is no way that is okay. And then dragging everybody in it. I know his family was just like, come on now, Jussie. Everybody who used their social media to attack other people for saying this story doesn't sit well, they had to turn around and be like, damn, now I can't never trust nobody no more. Okay. I can't do that. I got to get the full story. But we'll see how that case continues to unfold. We'll see how that goes. Shout out to his sister, though. She's a baddie. She's sexy. She's a good-looking woman.
Yeah,
I did.
Are you looking at the comments?
Yeah, I am. Shout out to his sister.
She is.
Journey.
Sister, I forgot her name. Journey. Yes. When I tell you she's been around.
Journey. It's Journey and Jussie. I'll just say Journey.
I thought it was Journey. Journey.
It's Journey.
Juice.
Junelle. Yeah,
Juice.
She's a baddie. She's beautiful, and she, I didn't want her caught up in that mess. She ain't do nothing. She just happens to share the blood and the last name. She ain't do nothing. That's it. But yeah, she's a very talented actor. She was in that show that they canceled, and look, I can't remember what it is. When you get in your 30s, stuff starts slipping your mind. They canceled the show that was. They canceled it recently, but I hope they do find a way to bring it back. But shout out to her. Love her, mean it. Look, like I know her. Love her, mean it.
Lovecraft Country. That's what it is.
Lovecraft Country. That was it. Ooh, that was such a good show.
Amazing. It was. And they said that the reason why they didn't plan on a season 2, the story was only technically written for one season. So they wanted to leave everybody hanging on for it. But man, I just hope. Yeah,
it was based off the book, but dang, and the male actor, the main character,
he plays Kang the Conqueror now in Marvel Universe, by the way. Yeah,
he also plays the main character in the Harder They Fall on Netflix.
Rebecca knows his bibliography.
Yes, she does. I see.
So what's his name?
Damn, what's his damn name? Look, somebody's gonna drop it in the chat in a minute. Justin Mayers. Jonathan Majors. That's what it is. Jonathan Majors.
Oh, Major. Yep. He's a major deal. Jonathan Majors.
Yeah. He has come up. Yeah. He has come all the way up. I can't stand Rebecca.
I love to see me a good black man on the screen. And then,
Right.
you know, and to see them play different roles, a hood role, an emotional role, a softer role, and then, a superhero. I like
Villain,
to see
actually villain. Yeah. he's
a villain. He could be a superhero and a villain. He could be a superhero and a villain in my world. Best of both worlds. I like him bipolar in that way. You know what I'm saying?
In that way, girl. In that way, right? You said that.
And it could be a few different people. You know what I'm saying? Anywho, only in that way, not in a Jussie Smollett type of way. But
I know. And then why he had to say he the gay Tupac? Why you just couldn't say Tupac? You had to say the gay Tupac.
People were saying in the comment section, did he really say that? Google it. There's a video, and I kept looking at that video like, did he do all of that just to get that moment out there? Just to say, he's a gay Tupac. He is a legend. And that rumor about him wanting more money started to make more sense to me. Wanting more money to be on Empire. Empire took that boy off. Now he never returned.
Never returned. He like the girl that went up the stairs in Family Matters and never came down.
And never came down. Never came down. But Lee Daniel, he not coming back. He is not
so
coming
the hell
back.
he ain't gonna be on none of the stuff that I do anymore.
Not on here. Embarrassing me. Walking around here embarrassing me. And then he was like, I'll give you whatever you need and the stuff like that. And that's crazy to me. The only time we seen Jussie, as an actor in any way or a singer was from the show Empire. Now you lost Empire.
What you got left? Tyler Perry.
So in Jussie's defense, is losing Empire really like,
His storyline was starting to get played out anyway. I was getting so over it. Stop watching at one point.
losing Empire in the stages of maybe the last 2 years of it. Yeah, I get where you're going with that. In the beginning, he was the show was at its prime. He was at his prime. Did not like the way he used to sing. Didn't like it so much. He wasn't giving me what needed to be gave, but I did like him as an actor. I thought he was really talented in that way. I like that he opened the door for scenes that made people uncomfortable, like,
especially with black actors.
Well, kissing, and it was fine men and stuff like that, and having relationships. And actually, the conversation about coming out of the closet for black people, that and how uncomfortable it is, and how one family member may be looking at you crazy and calling it an abomination and all these other things, and the other family member you have is supportive of you, and how a broken family system is, all of that. Empire they used to be that, and Empire it's not
real quick. Whoever Lawrence Williams is in the chat is probably like my gay sister. Because he said, you guys are so right. He ruined himself, side. He was my gay black hero. Now all I got is Lil Nasty X.
Oh my God. So don't Little Nas X is for the people. It's for the people.
Oh God.
Hey, they said Boosie said he loved everybody. Boosie said he loved Lil Nas X. At this point, I think both of them are doing it now. The fight has stretched on long enough, and they getting money. They getting money from both parties, from both types of supporters. At this point, it is what it is.
Yeah, right.
So Rebecca, you questioned whether Smollett was going to come back, whether he'll ever be back. And come back from this saga. You know who is going to come back? This little girl after ringing her neighbor's door or a stranger's doorbell.
Let's take a look.
Oh man!
Hey. I
dropped it
Wayne over here in on the conversation, hitting his blunt and just chilling.
Rebecca.
Make it to the after party. But what we gonna do, Rebecca and Bubba, y'all about to get back on track, because y'all just sitting here acting like y'all in the living room, which we are.
I mean, I am. Shit.
Which we are.
Hold on, in the living room.
I'm in the living room / kitchen. Yeah, which we are. So,
Right, let me know when you got those if you can.
As we wait for these videos to be uploaded. This is a perfect time
Sometimes
for you
we're just
guys. Cue me up when you're ready. But this is the perfect time for us to say, if you are not a patron, become a Patreon today. To go to www.patreon.com/like it or not. www. That's 3. Patreon.com/like it or not to become a patron today. Right now, you're getting the show for the free, I believe, because we didn't even say we went into the after party, but you guys are getting the full show for the free. That's why you're getting us in our wildest and getting us in our freest. Right. So and enjoy. Go ahead.
And blonde mellow jelly, I am not wearing pants. I have on shorts. Thank you.
And I am not wearing.
James, you should have just left it there.
Let's take it to the clip.
She's finna nick knock.
You doing what? Y'all ain't cross out that word.
Your shoe,
right?
Your shoe. Are you?
Go. No, it don't matter. Come on, go.
You gotta get your
what?
No, I don't. Go.
Oh my God. Go.
That
It don't matter. It don't matter.
Streets. She's like one. She's ready for the streets. Not her saying it don't matter. Let's go. Come on.
It don't matter. Let's go. Girl.
She dropped her shoe and she kept going.
Oh, he's like, your shoe gone. She's like, it don't matter. Let's go. Listen, you can't go back home to your mama with no shoe. She gonna ask you, where the hell you been? Where's my daughter's shoe?
Your shoe don't care about the shoe.
Look how fast she is.
We should not ever be still doing this in 2021. Because 2021 is a very scary time. You knock on somebody's door, you might get one of these gun-toting whites who's like, get off the property. You don't want that.
There was another video, another little black girl walking her dog, and she walks up to this white man's door, and she rings the doorbell, and she's been doing it every day for the past, I think he said year. So she finally caught her doing it, so she scared the hell out of this little girl.
Oh, nah. See, we can't be. Look at her little son. Shoe was gone. She was
hauling ass. She said, hey, don't matter, let's go.
Oh, Lord. And again, we apologize about the word in the beginning. It's not for you to say. But yeah, what do you call it if it's not that, though?
I didn't hear. I must have missed it. I didn't hear anything in the beginning.
That's okay. That's good, David. That your ears shut off to those type of words. I like that. I like to hear that. But what is it called? What do you call it when you
ghost knocking?
Ghost knocking? Ooh.
Is that it? Is that what it's called? Ghost knocking?
Most times people ring the doorbell and they call it ding dong ditch.
Yes.
Oh, ding dong ditch. That's it. Yeah.
Ding dong. They're saying that in the comment section. Ding dong ditch. Okay. That makes sense. Not everybody has doorbells. Back where I'm from, if you had a doorbell, you was uppity. And we had doorbell.
Right. He was uppity. In Florida, he was uppity.
We had doorbell. What's the next clip?
One more from James, AP2.
So I'm with my brother, and he trying to check his balance, and this happens.
Call the number on the back of your card. Your account balance is $13.56.
$13
on your account at this time. To repeat your balance.
Shit, that ain't bad. I can get some of these.
So I'm with my brother, and he trying to check his balance, and this happens.
I'm not even gonna lie to you. And you guys know my dilemma. You guys know what I've been going through. Rent just got pulled out. And because of my dilemma with corporate, rent just got pulled out. So I'm like, let me go ahead and check my account. Oh, listen, I had to put the volume down 3 notches. So I could check. And I said, oh, I'm gonna just have to look. What we got? Noodles in the kit? Is it what we can? Cereal, pasta plate. What we got? I'm gonna do a water with a lemon. Oh, let me. Yes. I remember, and this is recent, but I remember the days because my rent done came in, drank up every dollar, every dime. But I remember the days when I used to be in college, y'all, and I used to have $5 in my account to make that stretch. I tell you guys all the time that I don't eat like fast food and stuff like that. Like that type of fast food. When I say that type of fast food, I'm talking about like McDonald's and that. But on those days when $5 was all I had and I was scared to call mama because then they was going to be like, what happened to the money we sent you just the other day? I don't want to tell them that I wasted it on an outfit and drinks at the club. I didn't want to say that because I had no financial mindset. I didn't have no financial education. I can be honest. I didn't know, but I knew how to make $5 stretch. It's something about you get $100, you spend it in 2 seconds. You got $5, you know how to make it stretch. So I would go to, at that point, McDonald's, get me a chicken sandwich, hold the lettuce, put the mac sauce on it. Yeah, that's what I used to do. And I used to get that right there. And I'll be like, let me get to them. And you know, they'll make that for me, and I would eat that, but I couldn't eat one whole one. But I knew that I could eat the other half. And I knew if I put the other one in the fridge, I could do that for tomorrow. And then you know, and then if I wanted to be real rich with it, I'll look for quarters in my car, and I would get a McFlurry. But I would go and I would leave $1 on my debit card. Because at the time, I didn't know that I was able to use the debit card like Ben showed me. Yep, Ben showed me this trick. I would use the debit card and just use the $1, and it would be, and use it on credit, and you can get your gas tank full. At this point, I would actually just do $1 gas so that I can make it to my classes and make it back. Y'all, I used to let that money, like, that's how I used to really stretch $5 in the change I had in the car. And I'm glad that I know finances now because I went through these highs and lows, you know, and I'm sure you did, Bubba, too, because we talk about this all the time in our personal time. Just yesterday we were talking about it, you know, having to go and possibly get loans. And we know for people who are going through so much, it sounds like a good idea, but when you're having to pay it back and pay more than what you borrowed, it sucks. You know, those kind of things. And that's why I say every single day on this show, your continuous support, your continuous help, it really frees us so that, you know, we can do what we need to do. And but anywho, for anybody who is suffering or who's going through that right now, we understand. That man listening to his voicemail with that $13 in his account, I can assure you everybody on this show can identify a time when that was them and had to make it stretch, baby. Had to make it stretch. $100, you can blow that in 2 seconds and be like, oh, I got
in 2 seconds.
But
when I got this like, 10... Look, child, that $10 used to stretch it. I'm like, okay, I can go get me a Black and Mild, 2 Black and Milds, and something to eat. When I was in college, I had mama sent the 20. All right, I can get $10, spend $10 on a bottle of alcohol. This other 10 is going to be for food for the whole week, and then I eat in the calf, so I'm good to go.
Why was that a thing, though? It was like, now, okay, I got $20 now, but I got a friend who mama ain't sending her no money, so let me go ahead and make sure whatever I get, I'm going to eat with my friend.
I'm gonna eat with my friend, right?
Because I know at the end of the week it's easier to sneak her into the calf because she ain't got no swipes, so I can sneak her into the calf back door when my friend is running the front. He gonna open the door for her in the back. It's like all that calculating that we had to do. With the calculating that you have to do when you got to stretch out that $10. And so I'm only gonna drive here to there, or I'm only gonna go here to here. I'm only gonna eat this for the week. And I can't imagine the people who are doing this today when the pandemic first started. Yeah, I'm gonna take it there. When the pandemic first started and they lost their jobs and all of their savings and all of that money and that one check, some people only got one, and that check that they got literally blew by. And they had to think about what they were going to eat, what their kids were going to eat, how they were going to get somewhere, the gas that they had to conserve, all of that in that time. Because they couldn't get unemployment.
Right.
I love y'all. I love y'all with everything.
Love y'all. Mean it.
I do.
Okay.
We're at the end of the show.
We're past time.
We're at the end of this. Oh, we're past time?
Yeah, Dwayne's got a heart. Dwayne needs to be out in 3 minutes. So if
Dwayne, why you ain't get me together like you usually do?
Because I stepped away. I was doing some other things in preparation to leave. So
at least he had his prep good. That's good.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. So Dwayne has a heart out. We leaving. I don't like saying that though. Dwayne has a heart out. Dwayne gotta go.
Oh, come on.
What we're gonna do? I don't like saying that. It don't sit right with my spirit. So Dwayne has to go. I love you guys so much. Thank you for everything. I'll see you guys tomorrow.
Love y'all, mean it, y'all. We will see y'all in the morning. Like, look, Rebecca's still there with me. Cool. We will see y'all in the morning, y'all. Thank y'all again so much for tuning in. Patreon.com/likeitordnot. Patreon.com/the BPD show. We'll see y'all tomorrow. Hey, from Rebecca and myself, I am going to make it through this. Your affirmation for the day: I am going to make it through this. Love y'all, mean it. And shout out to Lily, man. Lily said she just lost a Nana today, not too long ago. So y'all send some love to Lily as well, too, in the chat room, y'all. Love y'all, mean it. We will see y'all tomorrow. Deuces.